CBC News. I'm Steve Still. In the news tonight, Prime Minister's visit to China ends in disaster as he dropped his wonton into Premier wanjiabao soup. But first, in Florida tonight, catastrophe looms for thousands of people as thunderstorm Billy rampages across the state. For more on this report, we have Willie the weatherman, who is now in Florida for this report. Willie?
Thanks, Steve. As you can see, things have pretty well down here. It's no surprise in a place like Florida. With its tropical latitude, it can see Florida is prone to such storms. But this season has been particularly devastating.
What exactly can you tell us about the types of thunderstorm you're experiencing, Willie? I believe there are different types of thunderstorm depending on their strength.
Well, it's a classic thunderstorm, Steve. It changes winds can reach as high as 170 miles per hour and even cause tornadoes.
Has there been any tornado activity in the region so far?
Nothing confirmed yet, but hail and strong wind have been recorded all across the state. Wait a minute, Steve. I'm getting a report from Jacksonville. Hang on a minute. Yes, it's confirmed. The tornado has just reached down the southern suburb of Jacksonville, Florida. That's all we have on that at the moment.
What else can you tell us about the superstorms, Willie?
Well, they're similar to multi-cell storms, except that supercell storms are more intense and pose a particular danger of being able to create a rotating object. A tornado appears to sleep near Jacksonville.
Thanks for this report, Willie.
No problem, Steve.
For more on this devastating thunderstorm, we are going to have a phone call with Professor Frank, a leading meteorologist in University of Simpsons. Good evening, Professor Frank. I'm Steve Still, and welcome to our show. Can you give us some background on how such a terrible storm can develop?
Well, Steve, a thunderstorm basically has three stages. The first stage is called cumulus stage, when moist air warmed by the sun rises quickly from the lower part of the atmosphere.
So why is this a problem? Isn't this just hot air?
Actually, it is a big problem because of the instability caused as the warm moist air rises. Higher in the atmosphere, the heavier cold air changes places with the lighter warm air. This convection causes the instability.
So is this the thunderstorm then?
Almost. As the warm air rises, it cools and condenses into a moisture-heavy cloud called amber cloud. It soon releases its moisture as rain. At the same time, it starts to go down to the earth in the downdraft due to the cool air entering the earth.
This is a mature stage of the storm, right? And you have another technical term for this cloud, don't you?
Yes, for all you amateur meteorologists out there, it's called cumulonimbus cloud. It consists of updraft, downdraft, and rain.
When does all exciting stuff happen? The thunder, lightning, and hail.
I'm glad you asked, Steve. Inside the cumulonimbus cloud, an electrical charge is built up together with ice crystals and hailstones. That's the real thunderstorm.
And how does it end, Professor? It can't go on forever.
Indeed, it can't. Eventually, the downdraft pushes the thunderstorm down towards the ground, where clouds spread out in what's called the downburst.
Is the storm still dangerous at this point?
Somewhat. The downburst creates an outflow boundary that causes the change in wind speed and direction. This can interrupt air travel, but this dissipating stage is not as dangerous as the mature stage.
Now, Professor, how much damage can these supercell storms cause?
Unfortunately, quite a lot. The first casualty is always forest and the animal that relies on the habitat. Flooding also occurs due to heavy rains, and lightning strikes can cause fires, further damaging forests and property. Hail can damage cars and windows and even cause human injuries.
Those hailstones can be pretty big, can't they?
Oh yes, Steve, sometimes as big as softballs.
Is there any positive that can come out of this thunderstorm?
Certainly, nature has use for everything. Lightning strike can help the nitrogen cycle by adding nitrate to the soil. Every year, lightning produces 250,000 tons of usable nitrogen fertilizer. Forest fires are also not always a bad thing. Without them, old vegetation can clog a forest, preventing new growth.
So basically, forest fire does the house cleaning.
Exactly. It cleans out the old and makes way for the new and adds fertilizer to help the new.
Well, thank you for joining us, Professor Frank.
Thanks for having me.
Stay tuned to CBC as we bring update to the situation in Florida and the Prime Minister's wonton soup.